Yeah, 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 yeah. Ever since it's a COVID-19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. One to the vaccine when the pot clean. Operation need vaccine. We say vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. One to the vaccine for the crack fiend. One to the vaccine for the vaccine. Afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fall up like napkin. We need a vaccine at the ghetto car. Our struggles are not similes and no metaphor. If you get a youth dream, if you get a car, buy a house, try make it out, no get so far. No live so long, we get vaccine. Get up people no want to no vaccine. If it's not a vaccine, we start cream and can live a better life and stop dream. For the youth them way in a jail house, we still no get charged, can't get no bail out. We say vaccine, we fi make no see road quarantine. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. One to the vaccine for the crack fiend. One to the vaccine for the vaccine. We afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fall up like napkin. We need a vaccine for real, cause some evil people them be will leaders. Foot power next time for you no ease off. Me no trust Babylon, we need a vaccine. For them stop, deceive the poor and every workplace start. Give people more vaccine, me not lie, we need the cure. People stop, kick in we door. We need a vaccine for bust the aisle mill, fi cut the piping. Look how long, aisle price drop. But JPS I give we some fuck we like Billy Ola who no fake. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. UPK got the vaccine. Mr. General Yan have the vaccine. General my man have the vaccine. Big Captain Mashak got the vaccine. Hey, Nayatap got the vaccine. Hey, Abada one got the vaccine. Hey, Akaya got the vaccine. Bakawar got the vaccine. Hey. Ever since it's a COVID-19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. One to the vaccine when the pot clean. Operation need vaccine. We say vaccine. Vaccine.
All right. Yeah. Okay. There we go, man. We got the vaccine. So I want to welcome everybody to the Tuesday night brotherhood and sisterhood class. I want to invite everybody. I want to thank all the brothers and sisters that's back. You know what I'm saying? We do this every week. We're going to be here until Christ returns, right? So big shouts out to everybody, man. Big shouts out to the sisters, the brothers who share the room, all right? Hint, hint, the brothers and sisters that share the room. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that's in the class. Y'all already know how we do. I'm going to play the intro. We're going to come back. That'll give you some time to get your libations, get your preset books, get your questions. I got 2 questions that I got to answer, and then I'll get into my topic. So y'all pretty much already know how it goes. We're going to do this thing right, and I'll be right back in a couple seconds, probably about 1 minute and 13 seconds. All right, let's get it. All right, let's get it, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Give yourselves a big hand. Gives a big hand to, I want to give a big hand to the sisters that's out there, man, the brothers that's out there, everybody who is, enduring through this walk that we have here and not giving up, not dropping your sword. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I got about 6 swords right now. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, man, don't drop your sword. Keep this thing going. You know what I mean? You always want to be on the right side of brotherhood, the right side of sisterhood, because ultimately what this will do is put you in the best possible position moving forward, all right? And that's what we do here in this school, right? We here, rain or shine. So if I see you out in the world, don't ask me what time class is if I already told you 4 or 5 times. You know what time the class starts. Also, yes, we are open on Christmas. We're open on any holiday that comes out of America, right? We are not closed on New Year's Eve. We're not closed on New Year's Day. We're not closed on Christmas. We're not closed on Thanksgiving, all right? So you can come to class. If it's snowing and one of us will definitely be here, I'll be here. If it's a tornado, I'll be here. If it's, hailing outside, I'll be here, all right? So, on our part, our bases are covered. You can come here to Wilmington, Delaware, or you can go to Smyrna, Delaware. That's 202 North DuPont Boulevard, Smyrna, Delaware. Or you can come to 1232 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware. Also, we got classes all over the United States, Florida, Jersey, wherever you want to go. Just type in ISUPK and the city or state that you live in. All right. So what we're going to talk about today is Black on black crime. Black on black crime. Everybody, have heard that term before. We've heard black on black crime. And there's videos out about it, of course. And then there's also videos out like coming from the ISUPK that shows the cure for it too as well. So I wanted to I wanted to go into that. I wanted to bring out this magazine here. This magazine, let me see if I could zoom in real quick. This magazine here, is Slovakia. This magazine here is from 1979. All right, 1979. This is from Ebony, and it's a special edition magazine where they had a story about black on black crime. All right. So this magazine is roughly about 43 years old. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go and I wanted to pull a couple of things out of the magazine, out of the articles. And then I also wanted to see if now got better or we're still on the decline. All right. So I just want to pull a couple of things out from here. And then also, of course, we got scriptures that you can go to, that we're going to go to as well. So the first thing I wanted to do was open it up for questions real quick before I get started. If you got a question, you can throw it in the chat. But I'm going to try to keep it brief because there's so much that I want to try to get. But the first question I believe that our brother had was, many are called, but few are chosen. So if you could pull that scripture, brother wanted to know about that. And I think the other one was like, brother wanted to know why in Ezra we gave up the heathen wives, and then now we don't do it anymore. I think those are 2 questions the brother had. All right. So let me see. All right. Okay. Let me see. Give me 1 second. All right. I believe it was you know which one I want, right? The many are called.
Matthew.
Yeah, it was Matthew. What was that? Matthew
22, 14.
Matthew 22 and 14. Shalom, Lord Christ. She talking about health plan. All right, so I already got one. All right, let's get it. Matthew. Matthew 22. Matthew 22 and 14. But I'm gonna go up. I think the question that the brother had was because I guess he was confused on when it said many are called but few are chosen. Matthew 22, and let's go to verse 22, and let's start at 2.
Come.
Yeah.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 2. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king.
Okay, so what's going on right now is Christ is actually about to say a parable, right? If y'all know anything about the way Christ taught, Christ always spoke in parables. So what we're getting right now is how Christ always, spoke to the masses. He didn't speak to the masses straight. Now, after he would get finished speaking, the disciples would tend to come to him and ask him, what was he saying? Because the disciples didn't get it all the time, right, what he was saying. So he would have to break it down to them in private. But the reason that he spoke in parables, because like it said in Mark, you can read where it says that seeing that they may hear and not understand, that hearing they may hear and not perceive, lest at any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven. The reason why Christ spoke in parables was because he didn't want everybody to get it. All right. So that breaks down that whole Christian church doctrine that, Christ just loves everybody. No, that's not the Christ that's in this Bible. All right. So you got it.
Verse 3. And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding.
Right. So it was a king, right? Who in the parable, it was a king which made a marriage for his son, right? Go ahead.
And they would not come.
Right. So it was a king that made a marriage for his son. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Hold on. Read it one more time from verse 2. I'm sorry.
My
chain was kind of jammed up.
Book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 2. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son.
Okay, go ahead.
And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding. And they would not come. Right.
The servants that are going out, the bid to the wedding is us. This is what we do. We go out on the streets every single week and we go and we tell people to come to the marriage. Come to the marriage. Christ is going to return. Come to the marriage. You know what I mean? Come join us. Join us. You know what I mean? Let's follow Christ. And time again, read that last line.
Come. And they would not come.
Read it one more time.
And they would not come.
Right. And that's what happens when we go out in these streets. We go out in these streets and we tell people, hey, come into the school, come to class, come learn. Everybody loves Jesus. Everybody loves God. That's what everybody say. Everybody got a lot of lip service, right? But they won't come. Right. Keep reading.
Verse 4. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready.
So in the metaphor is about a wedding, that he's sending the servants out to go get the people that are bidding to come to the marriage. Now, the people that are bidding to come to the marriage is Israel, right? We're bidding to come to the marriage, right? And Christ, the king in this parable is sending out his servants to go tell the people to come to the wedding. All right, keep going.
Come unto the marriage. Verse 5. But they made light of it.
They what? They what?
But they made light of it.
They made light of it. And that's what people do. They make light of the situation when dealing with Christ and serving Christ and changing your life. People make light of it because what do they want to do? Just turn up? What do they want to do? Make TikTok videos? What they want to do? Twerk? What they want to do? Go in the club and stand on the couches?
Right.
What they want to do? Pop bottles? Right? What they want to do? Get hoes? Right? And they make light of it. Right? Keep going.
And went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise.
Those are the things that you think mean something. Those are the things that are important to a lot of people. Your money and what you can make, the things that you possess, right? Go ahead.
And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them.
Right, because remember that, and that's the adversity that comes up against the brothers who go out and who do the work to try to bid people to come to the marriage. Right, we get ridiculed, we get killed. You know what I'm saying? We get harmed, right, by the masses. Right, keep going.
But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy.
Right. So now it's time for Christ to return. Right. I'm just breaking it down for you. Now it's time for Christ to return. Right. The other people, they died in destruction. They were destroyed. Now it's time for the wedding, but the people that we tried to bid to come into the marriage at this point, they're not worthy. Right? Keep going.
Verse 9, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage.
Right, and that's what we do. Like I said, just reiterating what I said before. We go out, we teach classes, we go on here every day. We're on this computer. Right? I feel like my life is a damn reality show. You want to find me? I'm on YouTube. You want to find me? I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. My life is a damn reality show because we're trying to bid brothers and sisters to come to the marriage. All right? In the metaphor. All right? Keep going.
Come on. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests.
Right, keep going.
Verse 11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment.
Right, because the brothers and sisters that are in the truth, we're ready for Christ. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in a position where you're ready for Christ to return. You're ready to go to the marriage, right? And be married in the metaphor. But then there's going to be brothers that's going to be there that they ain't dressed for the wedding. Right? Because you've been BSing the whole time. When Christ returns, you ain't going to be ready for the marriage because you're going to show up with regular clothes on. All of us got tuxedos on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got tuxedos on in the metaphor. We got tuxedos and we fresh and we clean. You showed up with a pair of Dickies on with some, some Nikes, right? You're not ready for the marriage. You're not ready for when Christ returns. Go ahead.
Okay. And he saith unto him, friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment?
Right. How you come here and not have a wedding garment? How when Christ returns, everybody loves the day Christ come return. I just want Jesus to show up. Right? Falling out, flipping in the church. Right? Flipping and foaming at the mouth. Right? Just can't wait for Jesus to return. But you ain't ready because you eating pork. Right? You smoking weed, you doing everything you want, and you acting like you're ready for the wedding, but you're really not worthy of attending the marriage. So what happens? When Christ finally shows up, you're not even properly dressed. Go ahead.
And he was speechless. Verse 13. Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot. And take him away. You want to add the scripture, you want to pull up your precepts like, I never knew you, depart from me, I never knew thee. Keep going. and cast him into outer darkness.
Right. So you want to pull the, also you can pull the scripture, the parable of Lazarus and the beggar, and then about the leadership getting cast into outer darkness, weeping and gnashing of teeth. You can pull those scriptures too to help you, that you can pull too as well. Go ahead.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. For many are called.
For what?
For many are called.
Uh-huh.
But few are chosen.
Right. So it's going to be plenty of people that's going to be called to come to the wedding. But in the end of it, only a few people are going to be chosen. Why? Because everybody plays games with it and they don't get serious and they procrastinate and they think that everything else in the world is better than being here. You know what I mean? They think everything else that you have going on in the world is better than you serving Christ and changing your life. And that's what the reality of it is. And this is why many are called, but few are chosen. All right. Done. All right. I think the sister had Matthew 6 and 8, something like that. I'm going to just try to run through them real quick. I think it was 6 and the sister had 6 and 8. Okay. Start at 5 and then we'll come down. You done? Word? You good? No? Okay, no sweat. All right, you can have him read Mataji Allah. Yeah.
What verse? Matthew 6
and 5. Damn, you Matthew 6 and 18, I believe. Okay, she said 6 and 18.
Oh, 6 and 18.
Okay. Go up to 6 and 17. Okay, no, go up to 6 and 16. All right.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 16.
You want? Okay, you got it. Go ahead.
Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of sad countenance.
Right, meaning that when it's a day of atonement, don't go to work like, ugh. And then people like, hey man, what's going on? You all right? You like, man, I'm so thirsty, man. You know what I mean? Don't go to work crawling, right? Don't be of a sad countenance, right? A lot of cats that's on Ramadan, this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? You see them, they like, oh man, this is rough, man. And then you like, all right, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm on Ramadan. Don't do that. All right? Don't be of a sad countenance. Keep going.
For they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
You know what that reward is? Is the person saying, damn, you fasting, man? That's your reward. Because they like, oh man, you man of God, man, you fasting? Damn, that's dope, man. You fast, that's your reward for fasting, right? When you fast, you do it in secret, and the Lord will reward you in secret. Right. So whatever reason you're fasting, it could be you're trying to get over something that you're dealing with, a sin that you're dealing with, or a lust that you're dealing with, or it could be for understanding of the scriptures. It could be for knowledge of the scriptures. You know what I mean? It could be for whatever reason that you're fasting for. It could be, for better health of a family member or yourself or a sibling or anything like that. Whatever the reason is that you're fasting, you wanna do it in secret, and the Lord will reward you in secret, right? But you don't want to go out and get your reward by telling everybody that you're fasting, because that's the reward right there. Keep going.
Verse 17. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face.
Right. Wash your face, man. Brush your teeth. Comb your hair, get it braided up. You don't gotta have your hair all out and your lips are crusty and you got coal in your eyes. You don't gotta do that. When you're fasting, the Lord would rather you just be just like you're regular, just like you ate. You know what I mean? No difference. Keep going.
Verse 18. That thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
Right, because when you get what you're looking for, when you whether it's you want understanding of the scriptures, then the brothers will be like, man, this brother breaking down the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Or good, no, I'm good right now. Or the sisters, you know what I'm saying? Who a sister might, she might be dealing with an issue. I don't know, whatever sisters deal with, and boom, that's how the Lord is going to reward you openly, because the people are going to be able to see it. All right. It could be you want to be more deeper into the truth. You want to be more active in the truth. If that's what you're fasting for, then boom, when you'll see it happen. And then they be like, man, that sister, man, she's dope. This sister's doing this, she's doing that. And hey, boom, now you're rewarded openly because everybody sees it. And that's the confirmation. All right. No sweat. Done. All right. And I think the brother had something in Titus.
Sir, Titus 2.
Titus 2 and 5. Titus 2. Okay. Titus 2 and 5. Okay. All right, start at 3.
That was Titus
2 and 3. The brother's question is in 5.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3.
Yeah, start at 3. Go ahead.
The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Right. So if you're an aged woman, don't be acting like, the young sisters. All right. Act your age. All right. A lot of women we see in the world, they don't do that. You see on TikTok, you see the older women competing with the younger women. All right. For attention. And you don't want to be that. You know what I mean? You want to be the type of sister who's older. You can give younger sisters some guidance. You can give them advice and things like that, so you can teach them how and what to do to be, becoming of a sister in the truth. Go ahead. Becoming holiness. I'm sorry, Slaki. Becoming holiness. Behavior as becoming holiness. Go ahead.
Not false accusers. Not given too much wine.
Right. Don't be a drunkard when you're coming in. You know what I'm saying? That's not the criteria of becoming of a woman who's in the truth. Go ahead.
Teachers of good things.
Right. Telling like a younger sister might come in and she might be upset with her husband. And the first thing she want to do is run to Instagram or run to Facebook or something like that. Then the older sister who's been around, a more senior sister, can go to that sister and say, hey, sis, this ain't the best thing that you should do. You should go to your man. If you can't handle it that way, then maybe you should, maybe try to seek some counsel or something like that. But going that way is not the right route. All right, go ahead.
Verse 4, that they may teach the young men.
Say it one more time.
That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands.
So what?
To love their husbands, to love their children. Verse 5, to be discreet.
To what?
Be discreet.
That's the brother's question. To be discreet, meaning your business that you have with your man is between you and your man, not between you and your mom, not between you and your homegirls in the world, not between you and Instagram and your husband, right? Not between you, your husband, and TikTok, right? It's supposed to be discreet between y'all two, right? With what is said between y'all don't need to be said to nobody else, right? It's confidence. Y'all heard of that? Confidence. Things that are said to each other in confidence. You don't need to, for you to tell your rib something and then she go out and tell somebody else, right? Discreet, right? Go ahead.
Chaste.
Go ahead. Hold on, let me see that real quick. Let me look that up real quick. I'm not sure what that means. Chaste.
Oh, chaste.
Oh, abstaining from extramarital or from all or from all sexual intercourse, right? Chaste. All right, keep going.
Keepers at home.
Keepers at home. Go ahead.
Good. Obedient to their own husbands.
Go ahead.
That the word of God be not blasphemed.
Right. So that, she got the proper understanding. This sister is making sure that, she's upholding, the things that, has to do with her husband, but also that the word of the Lord don't be blasphemed. All right. I think that was it. Can we get started? All right, no sweat. We good. So we can get started? All right, black on black crime, right? Black on black crime is a title that has been put on black people, right? And it's been proliferated throughout the decades, right? And the term really started coming in like in the late 60s, the 70s, where it was a high crime rate, in America, right? And so that was like one of the negative connotations that they put on black people, is to say black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? And they even still use it today, as if there's not Chinese on Chinese crime, as if it isn't white on white crime. They got white on white crime, and you can watch it. It's right on ID channel. Right. You can watch the ID channel all day. Serial killers this, serial killers that. A&E. I got somebody in the basement, buried in the basement. John Wayne Gacy. We had how many people in the basement? 30 people. Right? You can watch it all day. White on white crime. They got, you got, it's a paid channel. Right? But, they use it as a negative connotation when it comes to black people. Like when you look at, Chinese, Chinatown, most of the crimes that are committed in Chinatown are going to be Chinese people against Chinese people. When you look at the Chinese gangs, like the triads, you know what I'm saying? And the dragons, they, committed crimes against Chinese people. And it's really, I want to say kind of normal in a sense, because people are going to commit crimes to who they're around. And if you have a community where it's just you, then most likely crimes will be committed against people that are around you. Now, that's wrong. We shouldn't be doing that. Well, we don't care about what anybody else does. What we're talking about is our nation in specific. All right. So one thing I want to show, let me go to Deuteronomy 28:1. All right. I'm going to skip around real quick for time's sake. Real quick, but I'm going to show y'all where we went wrong. All right. And then I'm going to pull some scriptures or whatever, and we're going to get right. All right. I'm going to go into the magazine. I'm going to bring some stuff out in the magazine, of course, and we're going to take it from there. So let me get Deuteronomy 28:1. Let's go to this part, because we never really go into this part. We always go into the bad part all the time about the curses. Now, if you ever want to know what the curses are, it's a prophetic nature. You know what I mean? And how do you know if it's a prophetic nature and who it pertains to? So what you would have to do is you would have to understand that it's a certain dispensation of time, and that prophecy has to fit a certain group of people in that certain dispensation of time to actually make it prophetic towards a certain group of people, right? So we can read through the curses, and we can understand that that's talking about us, because why? It's the dispensation of time that we're living in right now, and we can what's that word called? We can not affiliate. We can where you can not acquaint. Oh man, it's like it kind of slipped my mind. Where you can understand that these things fit you, right? So this is what we understand. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28:1, and we're going to read it down. All right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass,
mm-hmm.
if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
Right. If we were to listen to the Lord, right? Keep reading.
which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
How many
of the
nations?
earth.
How many
all
nations? So if we follow the laws and statutes and commandments, which is the government of Israel, that's the government. That's why we salute the Torah. This is why we salute the Torah, because the Torah is the foundation of the nation. You can't have the rule of law, right? You can't get justice without that, right? So you have to have the rule of law to get justice, right? Every nation on this planet has the rule of law, right? And that's what we have to have. It's a governmental structure that we set up to how we are to conduct ourselves on the earth, right? So you got the laws. The laws are between you and me, sisters and me, sisters against sisters to sisters, everybody. The laws is between us, how we deal with each other, right? The statutes is how we would govern a city, right? A city, or how you would govern a state. Statute. Also, statutes is like, you know how you say, okay, you committed adultery under such and such subsection, such and such statute, such and such. This is the penalty, right? Statutes working that way. Also, how what the Lord wants. You know what I'm saying? When, like, how we do the Passover, you know, the Lord wants it done this way. This is a statute. This is how things are to be done this way. The Day of Atonement, this is how it's supposed to be done this way. You know what I mean? And so on. And then you got the commandments is between us and the Most High, right? And of course, the laws and the commandments, it tells us how to deal with other nations and how we don't get on the bottom, right? Because this is what happens when we don't follow the commandments, we go on the bottom. So what we're reading right now is how we would be on the top. Go ahead, you got it. Verse 3.
Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shalt thou be, Salakia, blessed shall be the fruit of thy body.
So it says, blessed shall we be in the field, meaning that we wouldn't have had to do no slavery. Blessed in the field, we wouldn't have had to be, you know, out there working hard, you know, and our field would be blessed because what? We would own a damn grape. We would own a vineyard. We would own apple orchards. We would own pumpkin patches, right? We would own all of those things. But our field is cursed too, because guess what? Guess where we live at? Concrete, right? We live on concrete because our field is you can get a field. Guess how much it's going to cost you? About $5 million. 2 million, 3 million. I know. I look at farms and stuff like that. It's going to cost you about, you know, a good 2 million. And that's not even for nothing. That's even, you know, that's just to get your feet in the door. That ain't talking about cows and what you're going to have to do to cultivate the land. And then cultivating the land, you're going to need machinery, unless you want to do it old school style and get you 2 ox or something like that. But even that's going to cost money. All right, keep going. Skip down to 5.
Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Meaning this, we would have stores. We would have black business. We don't have black business right now. You know what black business is? A nigga with a truck. That's black business. A soap. A nigga with a truck. Soaps and oils. That's black business, right? Ask me how I know. I went to the, what's that called? The Black Expo. The Black Expo in Indianapolis. And guess what? It's in that town. A bunch of people with .coms, right? Ain't no brick and mortar, right? Brick and mortar still is a aspect of black business too as well. Brick and mortar, you know, you got Walmart, you got, you know, places where you can physically go in and you can get something. That's brick and mortar. So, you know, that's an aspect of black business, right? And we don't have it. Let me see. Skip down to 12.
Verse 12. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto the land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. Yeah.
So, man, I just had to block somebody there. It was simple, man. His brother got in here and said what he had to say, and then boom. Now we got to go under a new, email to come back in. See? All right. Keep going.
And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow.
Right. And that's what we do now. That's why inflation is so crazy, because we constantly borrowing money. That's why you got interest put on the money, because we're borrowing it and things like that. But we wouldn't have to do these things if we followed the commandments. But what do? We continually do not want to keep the commandments. And this is the result of it where we are now. So let me skip all of that. And let's go down to 16.
Verse 16.
No, 15 and then 16.
Con out of one con. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Right. So all the things pretty much, like it said, like we'll be cursed in the city and cursed in the field. How are we cursed in the city? Do I really need to break that down? We pretty much all get it. If you live anywhere Black America, you can understand how we're cursed in the city. If it's not the police busting you in the head with a billy club, if it ain't that, or shoot, do they even got billy clubs anymore? They got nightsticks?
They got like batons that like come out and break your arms.
Well, forget about that. They don't even use those. They just shoot you now. Right? No matter what you do. So, whether you get, shot, that's, whether you're getting shot by the cops, shot by one of your brothers, right? Beat up by an Asian in the store, or, something like that. Sent to jail, all those things that come along with being, you can clearly see why we're cursing the city, right? And we're cursing the field too, because y'all pretty much know about slavery. Y'all pretty much know what's going on now about, us not having fields and things like that, right? And let me get 21 real quick.
Verse 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee.
You know what that is? Roaches in your house. Roaches, yeah. Mice, all of that. They made a billions of dollars off of glue traps, right? Because they know that we got the mouses. We got mice, we got roaches, right? Raid is what, $1 billion company? Right, yeah. You know what I mean? Roaches, bed bugs. Right? The pestilence cleaved to you, right? It cleaved onto us. You go into the inner city, that's what you're going to see. And you get roaches in your house, what do? Blame it on the neighbor. It's coming from them. This coming from next door. This house ain't dirty. It's coming from next door, right? Because because we understand that, this is pestilence and we don't want to align ourselves with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's ways that we cope with it. All right, boom. All right, so let me pull something, right? So y'all see where it's at. Hold on, but let me get one more. Go skip me down to 54.
Verse 54.
Hold on, the brother got the same thing on the screen. Mataziala. Oh, he got the same thing on the screen. Go ahead.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother and toward the wife of his bosom.
Say that one more time from the beginning, please.
So that the man that is tender among you.
What's a tender man? Go ahead.
Salaki, I think the breakdown that I heard when we were in class was somebody who's probably easily offended. Would that be like tender? Oh, somebody soft?
No.
That the man that is tender among you.
What's a tenderoni?
Like somebody that's like, only thing I think.
What, I'm the only one listening to Bobby Brown? A tenderoni is like a young girl, like a young sister. You know what I'm saying? She's a tenderoni. What? See, what you ain't never?
I heard that. Salakia, sir.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but I heard that. But it's
right.
When it say the man that is tender among you, that's what kind of throws me off.
Right, because he's a young man. He's a young man. You know what I'm saying? He's a young man. You know, and he's tender. He's young. You know what I'm saying? He's tender. He's a young man. He's delicate. Right. Keep going.
And very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
Right. This is where you get in the gang wars that go on in the inner city. These young brothers, they're young. You know what I'm saying? They're young men, 18, you know what I'm saying, 19 years old, 17 years old. They're still young men. You know what I'm saying? A brother is considered a man at what? You could be what? You can get charged as an adult at what? 16? 16? Young man. You know what I'm saying? This young man, he's delicate. You know what I'm saying? But his eye is going to be evil towards his brother, right? And this is not just for them, but it's also for older men too as well, right? But this is where we went wrong, and this is one of the punishments. I hate to say it like that because it's not like the Lord is punishing us for not doing it. You want to think we're punishing ourselves for doing it. Because it's like the Lord, if you tell your kid, don't go out and sell drugs, right? And then they go out and sell drugs and they get locked up for it, is you punishing them? Right. They're punishing themselves because they didn't want to listen. And that's what we're doing here. We're punishing ourselves because we don't want to listen. So you don't want to just, man, the Lord is punishing us and we're all cursed. No. We curse ourselves because we don't want to listen to nothing. We want to try to do it Joe Biden's way. We want to try to do it Mark Burns or Daryl Scott's way, or what's that other one? Jamal Bryant. And what's that other one? The homosexual that's on telling everybody God, he made man and woman and other. I said, oh my God, this is disgusting. But, you know, we try to do it their way and not the way that the Lord told us to do it. Right. And then we see what is we see the after effects and the consequences rather of doing it that way. All right, keep going.
And Salakia, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Which
he shall leave, right? Single parent homes, right? Keep going.
Verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat. Because he hath nothing left him in the siege. And in the
go ahead, keep going.
And in the straightness.
You know what that means? The straightness is affliction or oppression, right? Because of the oppression, this is going to be the result. Keep going.
And in the straightness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates.
Right, that's our protection. Our enemies distress us at all of our gates. You know, like when you walk down to the corner and then they throw a little bit of the Arab dude throws a little bit of tax on that bottle of liquor that you just bought. Right? You go into the suburbs, the liquor is, maybe $10. You get it inside the hood, it's gonna be what? 14. Right, he gonna throw an extra $4 onto it, $5, right? You're distressed at all your gates. Not only are they distressing you, monetarily, right? They're distressing you. The police are patrolling you and they're pulling you over and they're locking you up. And then if your car ain't parked a certain way, you got the parking meters giving you tickets, right? Everywhere you turn, you have oppression. If it's not that, it's the landlord banging on the door. Right? Not giving you an inch past 30 days, banging on the door, wanting their money. And if it's not that, it's the electrical company. It's the streaming services. You know what I'm saying? It's everything that you want to do just to be regular, right? All those things are going to distress you at your gates, right? Go ahead.
Verse 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness.
Right, meaning that it was a time when our women were delicate, right? Our women wasn't boss bitches, Salakia, right? We wasn't independent, strong, independent women. That wasn't that. You know what I mean? Our women wasn't never like that, right? Keep going.
Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
Right. Go ahead.
And towards her son and towards her daughter.
Right. Keep going. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with all this stuff on YouTube, you have brothers and sisters. I'm seeing that they're kind of against each other.
Yeah.
For quite some times now.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say N-words ain't. That's what the women are saying, or the men on the other hand are like, these all these women just want his money.
Right.
And would you be able to apply, like I see like they do these weird things like gold digger, you ever see those?
Yeah, them gold digger joints. Yeah.
This, that, and the fourth. Would you be able to apply this verse to what's going on nowadays, how we're kind of at odds? Yeah,
we're yeah, of course. Yeah. And then you can also, because we're at odds with that damn child support. Right. That's just the way a relationship goes to me in the world. It's gonna eventually work itself to child support. And y'all can prove me wrong, but that's what I think. Right. It's just y'all gonna get together, and then it's just not gonna last forever, right? It's just not typical of a what's that called, relationship in the world. And then once the kid comes involved, and then they break up, and then once the man and the woman break up, they have a kid together, then he gets another girl and another chick, and then she's mad, and then she starts saying that he's not doing enough, and he's not coming and bringing money enough to where she believes that's enough and what he should be doing. And then they're going to fight and argue. It's called baby mama drama. Am I the only one that ever heard this before?
Sir.
Baby, I guess I am. That's the way. That's the way you looking at me, man. Go ahead.
And also, if I could, I did notice, like, and this just could be a personal observation. I'll see a lot of people, or I'll see a lot of couples that have been together for a long time. Mm-hmm. Everything seems fine. As soon as they get that oppressor's piece of paper saying that they're married, things slowly start to decline in their relationship for some reason. I did notice that also. Yeah,
because it's all theatrical. Really, a marriage has nothing to do with a piece of paper. Absolutely. Your marriage is the love that you have for that person, commitment. And then it also is about forgiveness too, right? That's how a long lasting marriage lasts. But, a piece of paper, all that is a damn business contract that you have with Esau. So now this woman, they've been together. What a brother told me, right? This is a brother I knew in the world. He told me him and his girl was going to Jamaica to go get married. And I was like, well, y'all got a kid together. Y'all been together for 8 years, 10 years. I mean, ain't you already married? Do you really need to go spend $30,000 to have a destination wedding in Jamaica where you got to fly all the family out there to reaffirm what you already know? We know y'all together. We know y'all married. How about you take $5,000 of the money, right? Maybe if you have to go, if this is absolutely necessary, then go down to the justice of the peace, get the piece of paper, go get your teeth fixed. All right. Right. Maybe you might have a benefit to get, better insurance, dental insurance. Go get your teeth fixed. Right. But, take $5,000, right? Save 25. Take 5, get on a little cruise or go to a destination and have a good time, right? And then you can save 25,000. Absolutely. But what are brothers going to do? They're going to go and spend the 30. Why? Because you got to get the validation from the oppressor. And she's not going to feel like she's validated unless her oppressor gives her the validation. And it's usually probably some old man that's at the courthouse, or your pastor who's not reading out the Bible. He got the Bible up there and he's saying, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to join this man and this woman in holy matrimony. That is not in the Bible. People think it is because he looks like it's in the Bible, but it's a piece of paper that's folded up that's in between Proverbs. That's not in the Bible, right? So it's all theatrical. It means absolutely nothing. And this is why relationships fall apart in the world, marriages fall apart in the world, because those marriages are confirmed and put together by Satan. Right. There you go. All right. No sweat. Yeah, but that's right, Mariam. Buy land instead. That's right. Hakwana, UPK in the building. Trooper Hakwana checking in from Anderson, South Carolina. That's right. Let's get it. Let me see. Azan Yaala checking in from Chicago. That's right. We watching a documentary right now on King Von. Shara Renard, that's right. A young man. That's right. She was talking about the tender man. Tamika Shanta, young, that's right. Yaquadazar, what's going on? Yaquadazar, Shalom, Lord Christ. Kalatazar, reconcile. I'm still trying to figure it out. Kalatazar, I can't think of that damn word I got on the tip of my tongue. All I could come with was align ourselves with the curses. Align ourselves with the curses. I think that's what I wanted. I don't know. I can't think of it. It's, sometimes you have a word and you just can't think of the one that fits the best. All right, no sweat. All right, black on black crime. Black on black crime. All right, you can take off the joint. Yeah, black on black crime. Right now, this is a spread that goes through the whole, damn near the whole magazine. It's in like different sections or whatever throughout the magazine. Ebony is a black magazine. Yeah, they got stuff for stretch marks. Conch for that head. You want them waves? What's that? The conch, the straightener. You want to put that perm in there? Look, even got the cigarettes on the back. Is a black man. See that? Look, even the cigarette man on the back is a black man. We need more magazines like this. All right. We do. Well, we got Jet magazine too, right? Yeah, we got Jet magazine, but now it's like what, straight stunting and all that. Go ahead.
Ebony used to be our version of Cosmo. It was the same thing, but just the black side of it.
Look, they even had this, Salakia, real quick. They even had a black dude trying to, advertise McDonald's. Now it seemed a little racist, but I ain't gonna say nothing. All right. And guess what it was advertising? Big Mac, and they was advertising the Big Macs or whatever. Seemed a little racist, but they was actually talking, and they would advertise like jobs too. Y'all remember that? Where Koyash want to remember that when they used to advertise McDonald's in that magazine. Yeah. All right, no sweat. All right. Let me get page 84. And let me get Isaiah 9 and 21. You can keep that up, keep that on tuck. And let me go to page 84 in this magazine. Okay, 84. Slocky. I'm trying not to rip this damn. Okay, 84. All right, so let me go. All right, here we go. All right, so it says, I'm gonna read it because I'm up here or whatever, but it says racism and oppression. Right? This is page. That was you?
That counts, so I'm trying to fix it.
Oh. So this is racism and oppression. This is page 69 out of Black on Black Crime. It says, it's the second paragraph down. It says, indeed, they are alive and well living in America today as they were 200 years ago. So now this story is from this came out in 1979, but this report is from the 70s, like 74 up to 79. All right. That's when they had a large spike in crime. All right. All across America. Right. And it says, indeed, they're alive and well living in America today as they were 200 years ago. This is black people. Only their forms have changed. Granted, the obstreperous behavior, I'm not sure what that word means, obstreperous behavior of a minority or of militant whites in groups like the Ku Klux Klan and Frank Collins neo-Nazis still invokes images of Deep South during the first half of the century. Racism and oppression in America today in 1969, however, 1979, are less vocal but still vigorous. The effect works its cancer in ways that crush the spirit of Black youngsters by imbuing some Black people with a sense of self-hatred, of predetermined failure and powerlessness. It dictates substandard housing, poor health care, and embarrassingly high unemployment rate, inadequate police protection, and a justice system which is weighted heavily against the poor. And Black people are angry. Their anger, internalized and long simmering, finds its outlet in aggression against other Blacks. Do y'all see what that just said? Literally what that just said was that Black people are oppressed, right? And the Black man in America understands that he can't do anything about his oppression. So because he can't do anything about his oppression, he takes out his anger on people that look like him. So what does that say? That says that Black men are emasculated. They're emasculated, and because they're emasculated, what? Their egos are fragile, right? Their egos are fragile, so now I'm going to rob you and I'm going to take from you because the oppressor ain't giving it to me. I'm going to wait for you to come home and I'm going to run in your house and I'm going to put a gun to you and I'm going to kill the whole family because you have it and I don't. But really, the real thing is that the oppressor is keeping you down, and so you can't, and because you can't operate in his system, you'll just take it from people that do go to work every day. Go ahead.
Doesn't this correlate?
Oh, you're talking to Mike?
Doesn't this correlate with the lecture that you and Officer Matazapai had with the mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Experiment how they can control our environment.
Yeah.
Operate and do certain things.
Right, exactly. And that's you know, I'm bringing all that, but what I'm reading to y'all is from 1979. Have we gotten anywhere? Is what, 43 years later? 43 years later. You know how much you can accomplish in 43 years? We did it. We do like what? Colleges and all kinds of things that we had. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I just, number one, I think correlate the word that you were looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. So
well, kind of, yeah, somewhere.
That sounds and then also, I know this is just like a TV show or whatever, but that's probably why you ever seen the Boondocks with the whole nigga moment thing? Like that ego is so fragile. Like you'll get into it with a brother over the smallest thing. Like that seems about right as far as like that self-esteem being low, being emasculated, those type of situations.
Yeah, because guess what? A nigga will shoot me. He'll shoot. You know, you ever see those what are they called? Mormons who walk around the hood and they be on the bike.
Right.
They go to places I won't even go. But guess what? They're the safest people in the hood.
Absolutely.
Safest people. I walk around the hood, they're like, yo, what you doing over here? I'm like, yeah, I'm just, just walking through. Nah, nigga, don't come over here. Where you from? Oh, you from down the hill? Oh, don't even come over here. You get my point? This is because we understand where the real power is, and we don't want to address the real power. So what do? We try to address things that are abstract. Like instead of saying that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, right? We'll say it's not the oppressor, it's education. It's the fact that it's not enough jobs, right? Or, it's poor schooling. It's not enough jobs. That's what Donald Trump think that's the answer for all Black people. More jobs. You got to have jobs. What about, people owning, having land? What about that? You know, why everything got to be about a job all the damn time? You know what I'm saying? What about, you know, military structure? What about all that kind of stuff? You know, those are the things that, you know, aren't, you know, we can't go that far, right? It's about, you know, giving you a job, right? Give you a job so you can work on a company that's owned by the oppressor, right? But what I will say is that a lot of our people are starting to wake up now. That's why they're trying to get rid of TikTok. Because a lot of people are waking up and understanding that you can get LLCs and you can do this, and you can get your business credit popping, and you can get your credit report right. You don't got to pay off the the collections and all that kind of stuff. They don't want us to know stuff like that because this is game that they never intended for us to ever learn. Right? All right, I'm gonna keep reading. It says, and black people are angry. Their anger, internalized and long simmering, finds its outlet in aggression against other blacks, in criminal activity in the community, and in unbridled attacks upon the nearest person, often a family member or friend. Blacks seek to become a part of the white mainstream and obtain so-called manhood. What? So-called manhood. Do y'all hear what this is saying? This is saying that when black men commit crimes against other black men and kill black men and do things like that, it's fake manhood. It's really fake. Because that brother, that East Indian with sandals on, he's shoveling the money out the ghetto by the way of liquor. And guess what? The East Indian, he with the sandals on, right? He's shoveling the money out of the ghetto by way of blunts and lighters and dice and wave caps and hot chips and sodas. What else? And what? Vapes. Right? Shoveling the money out. Ain't busting not one shot. I try to sell a bag of weed and I get shot in the back and paralyzed for the rest of my life. Because that's where your manhood is. Your manhood is with me, right? It's not with anybody else. The sister gets that we've seen plenty of videos of black sisters who, you know, go into a Chinese store and the Chinese woman hold her in the store. Right. Hold her in there. And you know what she say? Somebody call my peoples. Call my brother. Now, to say I'm the security guard, and I tried to hold the sister because she was stealing, what the sister gonna do? Go ahead.
She gonna fire off on you.
She gonna go, ooh, ooh, and turn his whole damn store up. She gonna go 8 on me. And she gonna call her cousins up here to come, you know, beat me up. Or possibly kill me. Right. But she can't have that real womanhood with the Asian who's holding her in the store. But she can flex her weight with me, or she can flex her weight with another sister, right? And this is what it's saying right here. This is going to the seeds of aggression that goes into it. Remember, the oppressor created the conditions that you're even in, and then lock you up for responding to it. Right. So they make you into a nigga. And I'm just using this for just for, you know, teaching purposes, right? But they make you into a nigga and then be mad at you for being one. Right? They make you poor and then punish you for being poor and doing things that a poor person would do. A poor person is going to rob. A poor person is going to break and steal, right? Because you don't have money. A poor person are going to do these things. But why are they poor? They're poor because you made them poor, right? And they're just only responding the best way that they can, all right? It says, blacks seek to become a part of the white mainstream and obtain so-called manhood by turning to physical brutality and petty crimes against one another. Violence can be a potent drug for the oppressed person, reacting to the futility of his life. The individual derives an ultimate sense of power when he holds the fate of another human being in his hands. There you go. All right. This is page 70. I'm gonna go to the scriptures. It says, in his book, Dark Ghetto by Dr. Kenneth B. Clark, he writes, the problem of controlling crime in the ghetto is primarily one of changing the conditions which tend to breed widespread violence rather than one of reforming the individual criminal. An apt analogy here may be to compare ghetto pathology to an epidemic. To prevent epidemics, necessarily, public health and sanitation measures are taken. One does not attempt to control the epidemic through the impossible task of trying to cure individuals. Do y'all know what this is saying? What this is saying is this. When you, instead of fixing why black people are criminals and why black people commit crimes, instead of fixing that, what they'll focus on is rehabilitating you. You get my point? And that doesn't work. If it's an epidemic, instead of when COVID was going on, what they do? The whole public health got involved. They told people the distance. They told people to wear a mask. They told people to get booster shots. They told people to get the COVID vaccine. They did all of that, right? They took out all the measures, but all the scientific big head white folks that they could find, right? But when it comes to poverty, and it comes to redlining, and it comes to different things that go on in our so-called communities, instead of fixing those things like jobs, better housing, better education, different things like that, reparations, right? Things that could actually really fix the problem. Instead of that, we're going to keep everything in place. We're just going to send you to prison so that you can get right and not do it. But that doesn't change anything. That just changes your situation. But the situation for the masses, right, remains the same. Right? And they're breaking this down 43 years ago. They understood this. All right? It says, one does not attempt to control the epidemic through the impossible task of trying to cure individuals, yet the tendency has been, in terms of ghetto crimes, to concentrate on imprisonment of individuals rather than to seek to destroy the community roots of crime itself. All right, no sweat. I'm gonna come back to it. I got one more that I'm gonna go to, but let me go ahead and pull some of these scriptures out. Let me get Isaiah 9 and 21. Isaiah 9 and 21.
And I'll just go ahead and read them.
Isaiah 9 and 21. You got it. You right, Mataziala? Oh, you got kicked out? No sweat. All right, hold on. I'll describe it right quick. Okay, let me see. Isaiah. I'm gonna start at 9 and 19. 9 and 19. All right. It's lucky, y'all. Let me just do this real quick. I'm gonna scribe it real quick for the brother. All right, go ahead. You got it. Let's start at Isaiah 9 and 19.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 19. Through thy wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened,
Mm-hmm.
and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
No man shall spare his brother.
Say that one more time.
No man shall spare his brother.
That's what we're living in right now. You know, nobody gets spared. You know, Offset. What's his name? Takeoff. He didn't get spared. You know, King Von. He didn't get spared. You know, and every other rapper. You know, Pop Smoke. He didn't get spared. Right? We don't spare each other because we have such a uncontrollable thirst to just be men. But the people that you should be directing that at, you don't do that. Because ultimately what's really going on is that, like I said, you're emasculated. And because you're emasculated, you can only be tough with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you can only be tough with people that look like you. You would never be tough to Kenneth Copeland. You would never be tough to, you know, Jimmy Iovine. You would never be tough to him. You know, you ever see them? You ever see like real tough gangster rappers go on like what's that night show that they go on? Jimmy Kimmel. Don't they be smiling? They be smiling and laughing. I remember 50 Cent let the white woman stick her finger in his mouth to feel where the bullet hole was. He told her she could put she put her hand inside of a napkin and whatever, but it's like, oh, that's but you know that's what they do. Would 50 Cent ever let a brother from the hood or a sister from the hood ever do that? No. It's just like when they say, "Oh man, you got nice hair. Let me feel it." Right. This you right here all day. Right? You ready to give up your life. You ready to give your whole soul up. They start waving an American flag. You gonna march right down to the recruitment office. You're gonna march right down there and go to Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? They put a cross. You're gonna bow down and start praying. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta really see what's being played on us here. You know what I'm saying? But it says, and keep reading. But it said, no man shall spare his brother. Verse 20. Verse 20.
And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand. And right, because what does that mean? Go ahead.
That mean he gonna steal?
Mm-hmm.
With one hand, and he shall eat with the left. So it's never gonna be enough.
You want it. Go ahead.
So on the right hand is he's gonna try to do the right thing?
No.
And okay, Salakia.
No, but you was on it when you said steal. Like think of it like this. He gonna steal from his brother because you hungry. You're gonna steal from him because you hungry. Because that's because you're hungry, you're gonna rob me.
Okay.
You get my point? You're gonna rob me. Keep going.
And he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied.
Right, because it's gonna keep happening. When did this take place? 1979. Where we at? 2023. A nigga still getting robbed because I'm hungry? Ain't that what niggas say? I gotta eat, son. Son, I gotta eat. Right. You tweaking. What they say in Philly? What they say in Philly? Like you. Hey, what they say in Philly? You what? About to get that jaw, young bull. I'm about to get. Go ahead.
I grew up listening to a lot of Rob Peter to be like Paul.
Yeah, Rob Peter to pay Paul. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get that, young bull. You gotta run them pockets, young bull. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but y'all see what I'm saying? War had to be up in here. Yeah, Rob Peter to pay Paul. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's going on. But this is what happens. It says, and they shall not be satisfied. Because even when we rob each other because we're hungry, even at the end of all of that, we never be satisfied with it. When are we going to stop? At some point, it got to stop. Like, when are we going to stop smoking hookah? When are we gonna stop? We done did all the hookah we could do. We done stood on all the couches. We done bought up all the liquor. We done did everything. All right. When are we gonna start to change things to better our situation? Right? Keep going.
They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm.
Meaning this, we're gonna just destroy each other. The flesh of your own arm, that's your brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that makes you strong. And we're gonna destroy each other. Right? Keep going. We'll read the last one.
Verse 21. Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, Manasseh, and they together shall be against Judah.
Say that again.
And Ephraim, Manasseh, and they together shall be against Judah.
Right. The Puerto Ricans are against black people. The black people against Puerto Ricans. In this particular thing, the Manassites, which are the Cubans. The Cubans, they against, you know what I mean? Well, let's just say Hispanics. Hispanics against black people against Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? And we see this is the gang wars in California. Go ahead. You want to say something?
This one of the curses, right, sir?
Yeah, of course. Right. This all goes into black on black crime, right? What we're talking about right now. All right. Keep going.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
No. You finish verse 21. For all, matter of fact, I'll read it.
Salakia.
I got it. For all this, his anger is not turned away. This is the anger of the Lord. Right? But his hand is stretched out still. Because the Lord is, even though this is happening, you still have a chance to get it right.
Right.
And the only way you're going to get it right is by coming into the truth and learning and getting in here, getting in these classes and getting built up the right way. Right? All right. I'm trying not to be long-winded. I'm trying to keep going, hitting the points and keep going. All right. Let me get Jeremiah 9:21. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me get Isaiah 51:20, since we're already here in Isaiah. Isaiah 51:20. And then we'll go to that other one next.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Thy sons have fainted.
Mm-hmm.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
Go ahead, break it down.
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. Is that talking about how, our young black men have become weak?
Yeah, fainted.
And they lie at the head. They fall in the streets. Is that what it's talking about when they lie?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Salakia.
What's the head of the streets? Damn, y'all ain't from the hood? What's the head of the street? Where do niggas sell drugs at? Yeah. Right. This is where the young niggas is at. They on the head of the street. They on the corner. Weak as hell. On the corner. Keep reading.
As a wild bull in a net.
Right. You ever see a wild bull that when they at the rodeo? That wild bull was so wild, he jump up in the crowd. Right. They there to try to just spectate. He run towards the thing and jump up in the crowd. Jump on like 3 or 4 or 5 people. I know I'm the only one that's seen a video like that. That's how these young cats is today. They wild. Right on the head of the streets, right on the corner. Right? You see him, I see him. Right? I just nod. Hey, what up, old head? They call me Unc. That's how you know when you get old. They like, what up? Like, don't call me no damn Unc. They be like, yo, what up, Unc? And I be like, hey, how y'all? I think that sound old. Like, hey, how y'all brothers doing? I sound old as hell when I say that. Like, how y'all brothers doing, man? They be like, what up, Unc? Or OG. What up, OG? That's how you know you old. But yeah, but they lie at the hedge of the streets, and they like a wild bull in the net. Keep going.
They are full of the fury of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
the rebuke of thy God.
Right. You know, they wild and they don't want to listen to nothing. They on the corners. And this is how it goes. It's because, you know, we haven't had the things in place to actually be able to teach the next generation. You know who's been teaching the next generation? Cartoons. Right. Sesame Street. They got a transgender Sesame Street character. It's called Gonzorilla. You know, like Gonzo? You know Gonzo. Gonzorilla. It's cross-dresser Gonzo. Now I saw it on what's the name for myself. I went on and I Googled it. I went on YouTube and it was Gonzo's a boy, but he was Cinderella. You know what I mean? He had to dress and then when they like at the end of the episode it was like, hey, why didn't you tell us that you was, you know, you get my point? That's how it's like him coming out. And they said, well, you know, he's telling them, and they're saying, well, why didn't you just tell us that you dressed like that? Or, you know, it's just a way of trying to make it easier for a person that is trans to be able to come out, and they're doing it through stories for the kids. You know what I mean? And we have to start to take that learning part back, you know what I mean, and putting it in our hands, you know what I'm saying? Because the oppressor, we see what he's trying to do. He's been raising our kids for destruction, you know what I mean? Because working a job, you can't even make ends meet. You working 2 jobs, guess what? The kids is home watching TV. Guess what they watching? TikTok. They watching stuff they know they're not supposed to be watching. Why? Because you don't got parental controls on nothing. You know what I mean? And this is the result. Right? Let's get it. Shalom, Zarabakar. All right, so let's get let's leave that and go to a matter of fact, let's stay in Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 3:12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12. Mm-hmm. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
You know, the children oppress the people. That's why, what's his name? Stephen Smith had to check in the O Block. He a grown man. He got to check in the O Block. And he made a video about it. Y'all seen it? He bragging about it. Yeah, see, I checked in. You know what I mean? I checked in the O Block. You know what I mean?
Stephen A. Smith?
No, what's his name? Steven Jackson. I'm sorry, Steven Jackson. We played for? He played for the Spurs. He checked in with the young niggas. Right? You supposed to be an elder. You ain't supposed to have to check in. You supposed to have a pass. Right. You know what I mean? You don't even got a pass. You know what I mean? They'll wash you up, you know, trying to come through there without checking in. These young niggas will wash you. You're quite honest about crazy, man. But yeah, but that's what'll happen. So now you got old niggas talking about they checking in with the young cats, right? Keep going. And they your oppressor too on Christmas. You think we don't see you? We know. Right? They your oppressor when it comes time for Christmas. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And women rule over them. And
that's what the ghetto is now. Women rule the ghetto. And you see what the result of it is, because the parents, the man is gone. He gone. You know, he left you and he's fathered of years somewhere else. He got a whole nother family. He going to all the soccer games. He doing everything he's the number one dad somewhere else. With a white woman. Right? So, you know, the father's gone. And so what we're saying, this is not misogynistic. This is not nothing, you know, that women can say, "Oh man, you know these niggas is trying to be misogynistic." No, this is not what I'm. This is facts. Women are in control of the hood today, and the young men that are coming out of it are emotional. And these niggas, sorry, let me stop saying that. These brothers will shoot your face off. You know what I mean? Because you hurt his feelings.
Right.
You know, like the father's gonna say, "Man, stop crying."
Right.
You know, like things like that. You know, like you take for granted when you were a kid. You know, stop crying, get up, dust yourself off, man. Go back and play. Stop running in here and telling. You know what I mean? Like little things like that you heard from your father or the father figure. You know, that your mom was dealing with at the time. Preferably, she said he was your uncle. Salakia, right? They be like, "What's up with Uncle Reggie?" Reggie was your uncle, man. Reggie was having sex with your mom. But he told you to stop crying. You get my point? He told you to stop. Those little things that you heard growing up as a boy shaped you into how you was growing up when you were younger. You know what I'm saying? So we see the result of not having having single parent homes. You know what I'm saying? Where the man is not around, and you see the result. The women being in charge are raising up killers. You know what I'm saying? And that's just facts. All right, keep going.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err.
To error,
and destroy the way of thy path.
You know who's leading you? Jesse Jackson, Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, Juanita Bynum, you know, Daryl Scott, Mark Burns, you know, what's his name? What's the one dude's name? Jamal Bryant, you know, all of them, Stephen A. Smith, you know, you name it. They're the ones that's shaping you. Steve Harvey, telling black women to think like a man and act like a woman or something like that. But that's where those people are leading you to error. And black women, black men listen to these people. Why? Because they got money. We'll be quick to listen to a nigga with money so quick. You get a hit song, you a leader. Glorilla's a leader of black people.
Right.
She's a leader. You get a black song, FNF, it goes to the roof, you a leader of black people. And I guarantee you, probably by the next election, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Biden goes to Gorilla and say, "Hey, man, you know, Gorilla's like, hey, get out and vote in January." You know what I mean? So, you know, this is what we have to deal with because this is where we digress to. All right. All right. No sweat. Shout out to everybody, man. You holding on. Right. We almost done. Got a couple more scriptures and then I'm going to be out here. I'm going to read that last thing and then I'm going to be out. All right. Proverbs 1 and 11. I'm going to get Proverbs 1 and 11 and then Leviticus 20 and 23. I'm going to read that and then I'm done. 3 more things.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 11.
Hold on, let me get there with you real quick.
You
got it. Go ahead.
If they say, "Come with us."
Hold on. 1 and 10. This is a solution. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
Right. This is what a gang will do to you. This is that brother that want to do something wrong. Right. If they come up to you and they try to entice you to do something, consent not. Say, "Nah, man, I'm good." Right. Y'all seen it in Boys in the Hood. What Trey do?
Right.
Trey got out the car. Yo, doe, let me out.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, keep going.
If they say, "Come with us," let us lay wait for blood.
Mm-hmm.
Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
That's robbing somebody. Right? Keep going.
Let us swallow them up alive as the grave.
That's putting harm on their life, right? Keep going.
And whole, as those that go down into the pit.
Mm-hmm.
We shall find all precious substance.
That's the Jack boys, right? And this is them plotting on what to go do, to go rob your brother. You're not supposed to consent to do anything with them. Go ahead.
We shall fill our houses with spoil.
Mm-hmm.
Cast in thy lot among us.
Mm-hmm.
Let us all have one purse.
Right. Let's do it all together and let's put all the money in the pot. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to consent to do those types of things because you're supposed to. Hold on. What? Let me get John 13 and 34. Quick precept. John 13 and 34. And you can just read it when you got it.
The book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
A new commandment I give unto you,
Mm-hmm.
that ye love one another.
That we what?
Love one another.
Uh-huh.
As I have loved you.
Right, meaning that you're supposed to love your brother, man, and the way that Christ loved us. How did Christ love us? He died. Right? We should treat everybody like that. Because what happens when we start to treat each other like that? What? Crime stops.
Right.
That means the police get fired. Right? The judges don't have no job. Right. The lawyers don't have no job. Right. The prosecutors don't have no job.
Right.
Everything closes, shut down, party's over. You know what I mean? Hey, look, the empire is done. We can just shut down, turn the lights off. You know how they rolled it? They rolled the cage down to the courthouse. It's over. It's no more. They don't kill each other no more. So there's no need for us to patrol. They don't use drugs no more. So there's no need for the cartels. They don't, kill each other. So there's no need for forensics. There's no need for the photographers. There's no need for the coroners. There's no need for, forensic pathology. None of them. Right? It's all done. We don't celebrate, Thanksgiving. Turkeys, they're gonna live.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mother's Day, the cars are gonna go back.
Right.
More trees are gonna be able to live. Right? Everything is going to turn in a different direction once we start to change. And once we start to love each other. Keep going.
That ye love one another,
Mm-hmm.
as I have loved you,
Mm-hmm.
that ye also love one another.
Mm-hmm.
By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples.
Right. That's how they'll know that we the Lord's people. They don't know now. Because apparently we're still in black on black crime. We're still in it. Deep too. Right? You should be able to let me get one more where you at. Let me get let me get that one where it says him and him alone. Matthew, is it 18 and 15? Yeah, Matthew 18 and 15. Him and him alone. Salaki, I'm going against time, y'all. Matthew 8, 18 and 15.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee,
Mm-hmm.
go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Uh-huh.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. So if you got an issue with a brother, you're supposed to talk to the brother. King Von said that. King Von said, man, he wished that he could talk to FBG Duck. Right? And guess what happened? A week later, he was punching a nigga in his face. Right? And what happened after that? He got shot by Lil Tim and killed. You get my point? Like, if we implemented these things like the Bible is telling us to, we wouldn't have black on black crime. We wouldn't have the things that plague the black and Hispanic community, the Native Indian community. We wouldn't have those things plaguing us if we went and we implemented these things and we didn't go on Twitter and post it on Twitter and post it on Instagram and post it on Facebook and post it on social media for the world to see that I got an issue with you. Maybe if I would have picked up the phone and said, hey, man, you wronged me in some type of way. The reason that the Lord wants you to do it, him and him alone, is that because the Lord understands our ego. Now you put it on social media, and now everybody sees it. And now if I understand and hear you, I can't even do that. That's not an option for me because everybody's going to look at me like I'm a punk. And I have my, ego to protect. Right? Keep going.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Meaning that you got to get other eyes on it sometimes. You got to get other ears on it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you might not be able to get it, reconciled. So, another brother might have to say, dog, you wrong. You know what I'm saying? You wrong, dog. You were dead ass wrong about that. And then now the brother can, you know what? You right. Now, because it's somebody that I respect just confirmed and just sided with the brother who said that he had an issue with me. So now it's, it has more validity with me. So, I got to go ahead and concede. Right. That's that's a solution. All right. Which one did I have? Let me get the Apocrypha real quick. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 6 and 13. No, matter of fact, Romans 12 and 10. I ain't gonna go to that one. Romans 12 and 10. And then I'm gonna end out with this, man. I might have to just make it like a part 2, just to keep it going. Sometimes I was over prepared tonight. Romans 12 and 10.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love. Right.
So, we gotta appreciate each other, appreciate the things that we do for each other, appreciate the sisters and the things that they do. Right. Keep reading. I don't want to break that part down yet.
In honor, preferring one another.
Right. And that's what you're supposed to do in the truth. We prefer one another. Right. If I have a party and all ISUPK show up, I'm not tripping. It's a great party. Right. I prefer y'all over everybody else. I prefer y'all over, somebody that's going to come in here and shoot the place up. Right. I prefer you over some sister that's going to, come in here and get drunk and we have to, carry her up out of here. Right. So we prefer each other. If we preferred each other in Chicago, preferred each other in New York, Wilmington, Philly, you know what I'm saying? If we preferred ourselves over everybody else, we would be better off. The same way everybody else prefers themselves over us. Right. Chinese people prefer themselves over us. You think they don't like Chinese? You think they don't like soul food? Yeah. You really think they don't like soul food? They like soul food, but they're not gonna eat it and get it from you. They'll probably try to cook it in their crib or something like that. But they're not gonna come to you and get no okra. They're not gonna come to you and get some sweet potatoes or none of that. No fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do that because they prefer themselves over you. But guess what you can do? You can go buy their Chinese food. You can go buy their chicken. I've never seen chicken come out like that. Have you ever seen? You can't replicate the chicken that they come out with. It's just, what are they doing? But you can get that chicken. You can get all the, everything that everybody else has because they prefer themselves and they are unwavering in that. And since we're unwavering in all of that, and we don't give a damn about preferring each other, guess what happens? The whole place runs off of our destruction. The whole thing is running. You ever seen a red light camera? Red light cameras ain't for the oppressor. They're for you. Oppressors just get caught up in it because they don't give a damn about the damn traffic laws. So they get caught up in it too. But really it's for you. In Wilmington, that's where they're all over Wilmington, ain't they? This street. I know the streets where all of them at. They right in the hood. Guess what? Guess why? To oppress you and to keep you oppressed. $150. Run through the light. $150. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I said they on the highway now too.
On the highway. But it started because they said, look at all this money we made off the niggas. Right. We can make money off of more people. But guess where the beta was at? The beta trials. The beta trials was right in the hood. They create the conditions and we respond to the conditions, and that's where you get black on black crime. But the solution to black on black crime is everything that we talked about tonight. Right? It's everything that we talked about loving your brothers, preferring each other preferring ourselves over everybody else. Right? But I'm gonna leave y'all with this, right? This is page 84 of Black on Black Crime, right? The Ebony edition from 1969. It says, page 84, third paragraph. It says, and there are such problems, increasing numbers of criminals, overworked judges, understaffed courtrooms, and various delays in procedural maneuverings by judges and lawyers that are clogging court dockets, making due process a slow process, and the justice system problems subside. The bottom line is that Blacks want the law to stop aiding and abetting black on black crime. The 1978 social survey of the National Opinion Research Center shows about 86% of Blacks think that courts aren't harsh enough. 72% say too little is spent fighting crime. 46% believe in the death penalty for murder. So what is this saying? We begged for the cops to be in the hood. When the crack epidemic was going on, we said, y'all better do something about this. Y'all better do something about this. And now the cops are here. And guess what? When the only tool that you have is a hammer, everybody is looked at as a nail. Right? When the only tool you have is a hammer, everybody is looked at as a nail. So guess who gets caught up in begging for the cops to be in the hood to get rid of the crack and the drug dealers? Guess who gets caught up? The people that go to work every day. Guess who gets caught up? Moms, pops, grandmom. Guess who gets shot? Auntie. Right? Guess who gets mistaken for a drug dealer? Your pops. Right. Who's coming home from work? Right? When the only tool you have is a hammer, everybody is a nail. And guess what? We voted on the Housing Act. And guess what we got? For Cabrini Green projects. Guess what we got? O-Block. Guess what we got? What else? Give me some. Give me some projects. Huh? 13th Street projects. Guess what we got? Tukaville. Right? We got all of that. We got Bompton. Right? Everything that we got, we thought that we wanted it, and then we ended up having to deal with the consequences of the horrible mistakes that we made along the way. And we're still dealing with it now in 2023. You want the solution to end black on black crime? Come to the ISUPK and get under Commander General Yohana. Get under these brothers and sisters that's in your hood, in your neighborhood. Get under, you know what I'm saying? Find the captain, the officer, the troopers, whatever. Find them in your neighborhood or where you live, and get in class and get trained up right, man. And we all fight every single day, man, to end black on black crime. But it starts with you. All right. And with that being said, you know what I mean? We got classes every week. And also with that being said, you should get in here. No damn excuses, man. With that being said, we're going to turn the class over to Precinct Officer Matazi Allah.
All right. ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When new brothers and sisters come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and show themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister is interested in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in Hebrew, ma'ashara. That's 10% for every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the Feast of First Fruits, May 29th, before sundown. The service is supposed to start before sundown. All right. So that's I'm not sure what day that falls on, but it's May 29th. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. With that being said, Minute or Majum, we stand. We're gonna give courtesy salute. Minute Majum Shabbat, Majum, Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham.
Yazmatah. Sarge needs turn. Sister Majum. We're gonna give sister courtesy salute. Israel, Majum Shabbat. Majum, Barak.
Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'Shem Yahshua.
Yahweh Shemar Alatham Bahashem Yahweh.
Yazmatah. Class dismissed. I was looking all around for this. This is where it was at.